pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media. Tonight we welcome the drivers of the fired up eSports League to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. After the Rising Phoenix last week, we saw Alex Link dominate the race, leading all but 2 laps. Now we are heading from the dog leg that was to this D-shaped oval that is the Gambler 135 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I am Mike Demoni up in the booth, and I will be joined shortly by Matt Metler. And we should be in for a treat tonight. Looking at these guys when they were in practice, they are putting down some good competitive laps together. They also have been working quite well on the draft that they're going to have to be using. But this is the Gambler 135, and it is presented by Fraser's Place. Fraser's Place is a family-owned restaurant, owned and operated restaurant, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner along with expansive ice cream selection. Mostly known for our Vermont maple syrup soft serve, also serving onion rings with the juiciest burgers around, located in Windsor, Vermont. So definitely glad to have them on board for this race. Go ahead and take a look here at the race info. This is a 1.5 mile track. It is track temperature right now 88 degrees. Not too hot outside for it being in Vegas there. And we should be getting ready to start qualifying. This is round number 3. It is brought of the Fired Up Esports League, brought to you this year by White River Subaru. The White River Subaru is a locally and family owned and operated. There's still White River Subaru in the beautiful state-of-the-art facility located in White River Junction. And you'll find the same sales and service team you've come to rely on, but we're no longer owned by a corporate parent in Massachusetts. Instead, we have 2 co-owners, Dave Rosenberg, dealer principal, and Chris Kono-Milakovic, general manager. Please check out our beautiful new state-of-the-art facility. We built roomy, comfortable showroom and customer waiting area. Our service facility is equipped with the latest technology that allows us to serve both the newest Subaru models and those of mileage and age. So definitely glad to have those guys on here as well. And these guys are hitting the track, gonna start putting down some qualifying laps. Look like Ron Holmes is out here about halfway through his first qualifying session. And he will put up a time of 31:61. Harry Moore just finished his first lap and jumps up with a 30.47. Brandon Cooper is a 30.77. Josh Benoit is a 30.98. And Matt, while you're getting in here, welcome once again to the booth.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Certainly glad to be here for another round, what looks to be another exciting night full of fired up action right here on the Field Fired Up Esports League.
And these guys have definitely been putting in the work. I mean, they do a short practice session right before the race, but they want to get this race started as soon as possible. But these guys were running in groups of
the 7 having issues there.
Yeah.
Bounced it off the wall. Thank God it's practice.
Yeah, this is just they're getting through qualifying now, Matt. But in practice, they were running 5, 6, 7 trucks together, so they were definitely trying to see what would work. Alex Link just threw up a 30.32 last week's pole setter and race winner as he dominated that race, leading all but 2 laps.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, there's certainly a storyline there for you in the making. Alex Link has been linked up the entire length of the way so far throughout the course of 2 races, going back to back. I think he's got a good shot tonight of winning 3 in a row. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the way he's been running, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he was able to kind of work his way through a little bit of traffic that was Daytona, but last week he just qualified on the pole and ran away from the field.
Absolutely right. And Daytona, as you know, that's a hybrid race, or a wild card, if you will. In itself, anyone realistically has a chance to win at your plate track. If you're on the lead lap, anything can happen, and we've certainly seen that with that first race to kick off the season. Last week, another dominating performance by Alex Link, winning from the pole. And in typical Alex Link fashion, right now continues to lead the way here in qualifying with a blistering 33.9 second lap.
Yeah, he is definitely working. Looks like we have one truck that looks like he went on track and had a little bit of an issue, so he might just elect to stay and not go down that qualifying lap.
Yeah, certainly that is an option. And looks like, I mean, certainly within the first top 5, all within fractions of a tenth of a second of each other. Another truck I'm interested to keep an eye on tonight, the 53 of Clayton White. I felt like he was a contender in both races so far this season. Just wasn't able to quite seal the deal, if you will. Going to be keeping an eye on him tonight to see if he can potentially close this one out tonight and end with a win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's been close the last couple weeks. As they get ready to grid up here, we will take a look. As soon as they get all in their cars, we'll jump down.
Yeah, let's see here. We got the pace car on track right now, just after the start finish line. So everyone starts to load into their race session tonight. As we take a look at the race information, welcome to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Total track length, so cookie cutter track, 1.5 miles coming in, 4 turns, 43 pit stalls. Location, you guessed it, Las Vegas, Nevada. And tonight we are running going to be the Craftsman Truck Series coming up next season. Craftsman back on board, sponsor from back in the day. Good to see Craftsman being back in the mix. Currently coming in at your weather, mostly cloudy, 69 degrees. It's going to give us a track temp of an interesting 87 degrees. North wind at 9 miles an hour could make things interesting going down the backstretch. The distance tonight, we are going to go, pace speed tonight's going to be 60 miles an hour. Pit road speed, ever so important. Definitely don't want to make a mistake coming in too hot on pit road. 50 miles an hour on pit road, so you definitely don't want to set your tachometer at the pace speed because you're going to be over coming in the pits.
Yeah, definitely. So as these guys are on track, we're going to go ahead and run down the grid here. We've got Alex Link starting on pole position. Just to his outside is Kerry Moore. Clayton White in that Fraser's place, number 53. Tyler Davala in row starting 4. Oscar Jensen and Frank Peacock in row 3. Row 4 is Brandon Cooper and Brian Whitney. Row 5 is Cody Porter and Josh Benoit. Then we'll go to Justin Hurst and Jeremy Garand. Row 7 is Chris Vincent and Ron Holmes. So Chris elected not to take that qualifying lap. So he'll start back here in the back. But up front, Alex Link is looking to go 3 for 3 and improve on his already 20-point lead in the season.
Yeah, certainly, Tony, looking to three-peat. He's definitely been one of the main storylines throughout the course of the season and has not skipped a beat yet. Currently, your front runner in the series, starting on the pole tonight. I don't know about you, Tony, but I'm fired up. This series definitely makes me rise to the occasion, and I'm looking forward to being alongside you calling the shots here as we run the distance this evening.
Yeah, definitely, Matt, as they get ready to go. We'll be going on the green flag this time. Otherwise, it'll be Alex Link, and he is off and going. Clayton White right behind him, getting close to that bumper. Kerry Moore looks like he might have spun the tires, is about a truck length back. And Oscar Jensen is right next to him on the inside.
Absolutely. No stranger to restarts, and Alex Link, again, perfect on that restart as he turned down the bottom, eating on the inside, currently maintaining that lead. Just a couple inches ahead right now of the 84 of Kerry Moore. He's eating down on the inside as well.
Oh, and they are in the wall. Brandon Cooper, Kerry Moore, Clayton White. But looks like we are staying
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from race control right now. You're currently stay green on the restart, stay green on the racetrack. Certainly thought the caution flag was going to come out, and something we haven't seen here much in this series. Cautions, they have been far few and in between.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. Let's see if we can go back and take a look here. I don't even know if we can. It didn't really register too much here.
Certainly,
right, let's pause it
that,
right
Mike.
there. Let me get go up to the chopper here. There we go.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a better idea what happened there.
So Kerry Moore is right behind Clayton White. They wind up going almost 3 wide here. Brandon Cooper floats up and just gets into the front of Kerry Moore and gets turned right in the wall. Clayton White stuck there, nowhere to go.
Oh, you feel so bad for Clayton White. And I got to wonder if just those cold tires came into play. As you said, he floated up the racetrack just a little bit. Got to feel those cold tires maybe had something to do with that incident. But out front, continuing to lead the way, it's the Link Show, the 10 truck. He's your current leader, followed by a close ensuing Oscar Jensen. And because of that incident on the racetrack while staying green, we have a pretty sizable differential between the second place truck of Oscar and the 04 of Cody Porter.
Yeah, Cody Porter's about 1.5 seconds back. He wound up going through the infield trying to avoid that incident. Was able to do so, and he's up 6 positions from where he started. The truck
he started just inside the top 10. Currently occupies the 3rd position, and looks like we had an attempt for a pass in the grass, or a save in the grass, if you will. So he's definitely going to have some grass on the front of that truck. Hopefully it won't cause any overheating issues throughout the initial portion of this race.
Yeah, definitely. Another truck that I kind of want to look out for is this Frank Peacock here. He ran the fastest lap of the race last time and was faster than the leader. But he's left with quite a bit to do and several trucks in between him. But he does seem to have a fast Toyota there.
Yeah, Frank, no stranger to being able to put up a fast lap. He's been very consistent with that over the past few weeks. Feel that's another driver that possibly hasn't had the results to show for his team's effort and his driving ability out there on the racetrack. He's mired back a little bit right now, but still has plenty of time to get up there and contend for a podium. As we go through the field right now, Alex Link, the 10 vehicle, 10 truck, still shining the way right now, followed by the 32 of Oscar Jensen, the 04 of Cody Porter, and sizable gap back to the 02 truck right now, piloted by Tyler Devada, the 13 truck of Frank Peacock, rounding out your top 5 as they run.
Yeah, and it looks like Oscar Jensen's able to get around Alex Link there. But they are still just kind of running together. And that gap back to Cody Porter is still left at about 1 second. Go back through the field. We can take a look at this next group here of Justin Hurst, Brian Whitney, and Josh Benoit. Of course, in the chat, as always, is Lynn Whitney. Cheering for Brian there. And we also have Chris Vinson, and they're cheering for, looks like his dad.
I'll tell you what, there's no shortage of fan support in the Fired Up series. Big thanks again for you guys showing up tonight, representing, cheering up your favorite driver, or cheering on your favorite driver. If you're new, go ahead and make sure you smash that like button, ring that bell. Right here at SRM, we got racing coverage for you guys virtually every day a week. Your #1 source for your eSIM entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are definitely glad to have everybody go up every time we put on a broadcast. Without you we couldn't do what we love to do here. And these guys on track, giving them the recognition that they deserve.
Absolutely. And got a really interesting look to the field right now, Mike, given that the little mishap here as we fired off. I mean, from first to 10th place right now, we have a sizable 10-second differential from your leader all the way back to 10th place. Actually, that size has grown now to 13 seconds back. Typically something you don't see with the inside of 20 laps right now in a green flag run.
Yeah, it's just definitely not something you're used to seeing, especially with these guys. These guys put on a show every week, and they're really competitive. I mean, even if you look at their lap times, if there wouldn't have been that incident, I think they would have been still racing almost side by side through most of this track.
You know, I gotta wonder if that has to change up your strategy just a little bit, especially if you weren't caught up in that melee, because now you have to look at the trends of the race, and we're starting to build some of that data as we're now entering our third race of the season. Typically we don't see a lot of cautions within this series, so you got to wonder if the guys mired back, just outside the top 10, maybe are going to start to change up their strategy a little bit, work with their crew chief, their spotter, maybe start saving those tires a little bit, conserve them for the long run. They can try to chew into this deficit. Perhaps these guys up front are eating a little more than they should right now.
Yeah, that is something that we will have to keep our eye on as we were talking pre-race. They have the pit window's roughly 45 laps. So when you first look at this race, you're thinking, okay, 45 laps, let's just make 2 pit stops and call it good. But after that happened, you have a few guys that are on pit road a little sooner than they want to be, and that gap is just huge. So you might like to try and either stay out a little bit longer at the beginning if you think this is going to be one of those long green races, or do you save them more for the end and have that longer run towards the end?
Yeah, certainly critical decision-making time may have started sooner than later. And already you have 2 trucks that are off track or not on the lead lap. 53 of Clayton White currently mired 6 laps down, and the 84 of Kerry Moore currently 13 laps down. Certainly not what either of those drivers wanted to see. And as I mentioned, Clayton White, beginning of the race, I was really looking for him to make a statement tonight, but unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Caught up in some early trouble.
Definitely is. Take a look here at the 21 of Chris Vincent, as there's a fan in the chat, so I want to give him a little bit of extra play time.
Absolutely.
As we also have, the Whitney fan club as usual, Nikki Cox, Whitney Nation.
Yeah, we're certainly not short of spectators and fans for this series. Whitney Nation in the house, full force tonight. Thanks for showing up. And I'm certain he appreciates that as well. Getting back to the trackside action right now, just keeping an eye on this battle between the 21 of Chris Vincent and the 7 of Jeremy Garand here. Currently I did say that, right? It is the 21 and the 7. Side-by-side action. The 7 machine eating it on the high side. He's fired up. He completes the pass, goes around the 21, and they fall back in line, as it looks like that preferred line is starting to shift up the racetrack just a little bit, Mike.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it is. With some of these guys, the way they're battling, they need to settle down and see if maybe working together in the draft is going to get them caught back up, because right now them battling side by side is doing nothing but increasing that gap, because the gap between the 7 truck here and the 33 of Ron Holmes is almost 3 seconds, and it's getting longer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Initially, you don't think necessarily about drafting at a 1.5-mile track, but especially these trucks, they perform very well when they are hooked up or in line, and certainly running side by side is going to disturb that air, and it's going to slow both those vehicles down. You're absolutely right. So maybe some communication with the spotters here. Some of these guys will start working together to see if they can start reeling those leaders in.
Yeah, have to do something here. Josh Benoit is looking to catch this next group here of Brian Whitney and Justin Hurst. Clayton White is holding on to that back bumper of Whitney there, but he is several laps down.
Yeah, certainly that is unfortunate, being that many laps down this early on, as we are shockingly already through 22 laps tonight. Certainly time is going to fly by as long as that green flag stays out, which is indicative of this series so far. But like you said, the 32 truck of Oscar Jensen currently leading the way, but Alex Lenk right there knocking on the back door. He's certainly going to be in contention, and I expect him to be back up front at some point throughout the evening. The 04 Cody Porter continues to own the third slot, rounding out your top three.
Yeah, Cody Porter's been able to close that gap down to 0.2 of a second, and increase the margin back to Tyler Davala here in that 2 Chevy. We'll see if these guys are able to pull away with that 3-truck pack, or if they're going to basically stay within 2 or 3 seconds of Tyler Davala here.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Link, the 10 truck, is no stranger. Those guys up front, they know how to pull away. If you're going back to Daytona, you remember at one point they had a 38-second margin. So they definitely know how to gap the field, if you will. So definitely time is of the essence for everyone else right now. You certainly don't want to get marred a lap down. And if you go back to P12, the 18 of Brandon Cooper, he's already 27 seconds off the pace. So go time is now, if you will. Some of these guys probably begging and praying for a caution on the racetrack, I would have to imagine, Tony.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these guys up front don't want to see anything of the sort as they're going side by side. Cody Porter pushing Link on this outside line. Oscar Jensen floats up a little bit, but Alex Link probably will have the run off of this corner with Cody Porter right behind him.
Yeah, certainly tucked in line like that, reminiscent of Daytona. The two white trucks almost look like team vehicles up there on the high side. Now the 32 has a change of heart, commits back down to the bottom, which is going to give Oscar a push back out to the point.
Yep, Alex Link, Cody Porter able to make that pass work. But these 3 trucks are basically just playing musical chairs. Everybody's probably going to take a turn leading a lap or so. And then we'll go through those pit stops and see who winds up coming out on top at the end.
Yeah, I mean, why not give everyone the opportunity to lead a lap? Every point counts. We've seen that time and time again. So share the wealth, if you will, up front, as you got a sizable 3-second margin over the rest of the field right now, and that's just back to the truck occupying the fifth spot of Frank Peacock.
Yeah, they've almost got the backstretch between the top 4 and the 5th truck. Peacock's out here basically running his own race. He doesn't have anybody really in front of him, and he's not feeling any pressure whatsoever from any of the trucks behind him. So,
and that's certainly maybe not a bad thing right now. He's getting to run his preferred line. He's not having to mirror drive, potentially able to save his equipment up a little bit, but pit stops will be happening shortly. So maybe it's better to try to make up as much time as you possibly can, and hopefully you get a really good execution on pit road to eat up some of that differential.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. I think a lot of these guys in this back pack here, Peacock, Whitney, Hurst, Benoit, they're going to have to do something different than these leaders in order to make up the position on track, as these guys are still playing musical chairs. Oscar Jensen on the outside, Cody Porter on the inside, Alex Link right behind Cody Porter.
It's almost like they're running a completely different race of their own.
It definitely does, as Cody Porter checks up just a little bit so he doesn't get into the back of Oscar Jensen there. Cody Porter and Alex Link both running that Money Shift Media sponsored trucks there.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the formational turn 3 and 4 there. That was kind of cool. Looked like the Thunderbirds coming down, making a pass along the runway, if you will. Now currently at the point, little change for the lead here. 32 back to the point, followed by the team cars of Cody Porter and Alex Link. I bet you they all have a big smile on their face right now. You can tell they're having fun out here at the front of the pack.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way, as they are hitting these lap trucks here of Chris Benson and Brandon Cooper. Brandon Cooper involved in that early race incident, but is still able to maintain his spot on the lead lap right at the moment, as all three of these trucks are trying to figure out which way to go, as the lap trucks basically split and give them whatever lane they want.
Yeah, certainly. And you want to try to get through there cleanly. You don't want to happen to have any incidental contact, especially while you're up out front enjoying a sizable lead at this point in time. And shockingly, under 35 laps into this race on a 1.5 mile track, and you already have vehicles going a lap down. That just goes to show you how good some of these racers are in the Fired Up series.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the laps, the last lap of Oscar Jensen, Cody Porter, and Alex Link, they're running about 32 seconds. If you go back to the truck they just lapped, the Brandon Cooper and Chris Benson, they're running anywhere between 32 and a half to 33 and a half second laps. So they are flying up front.
Absolutely setting a blistering pace. And to you guys at home that may be new to NASCAR racing in general, you might be saying to yourself, man, that doesn't sound like a lot of time. Well, on the racetrack, when you're running at those speeds, that is an insane amount of time. And you can definitely gap somebody or close in on somebody within a few laps, especially with that differential.
Yeah, as you see, Cody Porter pass Alex Link there. But these three guys are using all three lanes that they choose and are doing all sorts of formations up there, just playing musical chairs on the top three.
Yeah, they're certainly putting on a show right now for everyone, cheering them on right now in the YouTube channel and all our other distribution outlets. Definitely want to thank all of our sponsors and partners on behalf of the drivers. Certainly, we can't bring you this excellent coverage and have the privilege of getting to call these kinds of races here day in and day out. So thank you for all that you do for our sport in this series tonight.
Yeah, definitely the title sponsor of this race, Frazier's Place. If you're ever in Windsor, Vermont, they're a family-owned and operated restaurant serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with expansive ice cream selection, mostly known for their Vermont maple syrup soft serve. Also serving the best onion rings with the juiciest burgers around. So if you're ever up there, go ahead and give them a try. Appreciate them for coming on board for the Fired Up Esports League this year.
You know what? I'm lucky I'm down south, because if I was within 50 miles of that place, I promise you I would probably gain 30 pounds in 2 weeks. Ice cream is definitely my Achilles heel. Getting back to the racing, still the 32 showing the way out front, followed by the formation of Cody Porter and the 10 of Alex Link. I'll tell you what, though, the 2 truck of Tyler Devara and the 13 of Frank Peacock, they're starting to make up a little bit of ground on these guys. See if they can continue to close that gap as we close in on the first round of pit stops.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as Jensen, Porter, and Link are all over the track racing each other. I mean, I'm sure the tires are going to wear out here eventually with how much they're jumping around up front.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, well, the formations and all the different looks they're giving us, it may look cool, but that's gonna grade those tires away a little bit more, especially versus the guys that are currently in line right now trying to run these top 3 competitors down.
Definitely, and then we've got Fried Rice official here is giving a shout out to the Moonlight cars. The Moonlight cars they're talking about are the 3 up front. They have the Moonlight speed concepts. Puts out sets for them that they're running. Because this is an open set league, so.
Well, there's another interesting plot twist for you too. So some of these leagues have the fixed setup. NASCAR mandates the setup on the truck. You have very minimal changes you're allowed to make. An open setup race, sky's the limit. You can change your wedge, your track bias, your bump stops. So if you know what you're doing, you got a good crew chief, you can really dial your truck in. And if you're off just a little bit, some of these guys, like the 10 of Alex Link, will make you pay dearly.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like now we have the Moonlight fans in the chat, and we have the Whitney fans in the chat. Definitely appreciate everybody interacting with us because it is awesome to see. And as we are getting closer to that pit window, we'll have to see if any of these guys elect to go a little bit farther or can go a little bit farther.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. I mean, as we close in on lap 40, how much fuel they have remaining in that vehicle, and if they have any tires left, man, they almost got to be down to the cords, you would think.
Yeah, as fast as they've been running and everywhere they've been going, that rubber has got to be going soon.
It would have to be, you most certainly think, unless Goodyear perhaps changed up the tire compound for this track. But I know personally when I'm driving that truck out on that racetrack, and granted, I'm a little off the pace from what these guys run. I know right about now I would be screaming to bring me in pit road for 4 Dr. Feelgoods. And while I have a moment, I'm going to drop to the back of the pack. The 53 Clayton White, he's got a lot of damage to his, I shouldn't say damage, he has a lot of paint damage to the vehicle. The entire left side of that is cheese gratered up, indicative of that trouble he unfortunately was involved in early on in the run. So that definitely has to be slowing him down aerodynamically. Look for him to have an extended pit stop, try to maybe possibly clean some of that up.
And as we were doing that, looks like everybody's hit pit road except for Cody Porter and Josh Benoit at the moment. Alex Link was in, Davila was in, Jensen, Peacock, Whitney, Hurst, Garand, and Cooper. Like Ron Holmes stayed out too. Looks like Cody Porter's bringing it pit side this time. I'd imagine we'd see Josh Benoit come in pretty quick as well.
Yeah, you would have to imagine with 41 laps on the tires, and the amount of time you're going to gain on fresh form ones, that pretty much everyone on the lead lap is going to have to pit this time by. You definitely wouldn't want to wait that much longer.
No, you would not. As Alec Link and Oscar Jensen get out of the pits almost side by side here.
Yeah, kind of picking up where they left off on the racetrack, and that's what differential does for you. I mean, take a look at them. They just came down pit road at 50 miles an hour, changed 4 tires, and they came back on the racetrack in the 4th and 5th position.
Yeah, they were flying. As you see Cody Porter get out right behind them after he stayed out 1 lap longer, and will retake his place in 3rd position at the moment. But as these guys
so right
battle
now,
side by side.
Yeah, they're continuing to duke it out and put on a show for the fans and everyone watching the live stream right now. That's for sure. Been nothing outside of entertaining from the stop of the green flag up front. Taking a look here as we cycle through the first round of pit stops, currently running order. Your top 3, no surprise, Alex Link back to the point on the 10 truck, followed by a closely pursuing Oscar Jensen in the 32. You guessed it, 04, Cody Porter occupying the 3rd position. A little bit of a change up here as we round out the top 10. The 2 truck at Tyler Nevada, Frank Peacock, we're in the 13 machine tonight. All inside the top 5 right now, Mike.
Yep, and then you go back to Justin Hurst and Brian Whitney, Josh Benoit, Jeremy Garin, and rounding out the top 10 is Ron Holmes.
Yes, certainly. And interesting enough, only 9 trucks on the lead lap, 50 laps into this thing. And you almost pretty much have 2 packs. You have the lead pack of trucks, if you will. And then the second group, leading the second group is the one of Justin Hurst.
Yep, that is definitely what you have. And then you have this 13 Toyota Frank Peacock here right in the middle of them.
Kind of the Lone Ranger right now, if you will. He's kind of in no man's land. No help to help pull him forward. But at the same token, no pressure really from behind. He's kind of just out there riding by himself.
Definitely. So as we completed that round of pit stops, we're going to go ahead and take a break here. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a thing. If you're in the YouTube chat, definitely hit that subscribe, turn on bell notifications, Facebook. Hit the like, share, follow. You know what you do. And we will be right back in a moment.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Once again, this is the Fired Up Esports League, live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Gambler 135, brought to you by Fraser's Place. I am Mike Timoni, joined in the booth tonight by Matt Metler. Matt, what do you think so far, man?
So far, incredible start of the race. I'll be honest with you,
Oh,
Mike.
oh, whoa.
Oh!
7 goes around, it looked like.
pretty sure I've seen a couple more spinning off the racetrack than just the 7, as we were just about to give you the overview on the first 50 laps. But caution now flies on the racetrack. And Mike, once again, this changes everything.
All right, let's jump up here to the chopper and take a look.
Get in the chopper.
Let's back up just a little bit here. As you can see, coming out of 4, Jeremy Garand spins those tires, starts sliding down in front of Brandon Cooper, gets sideways, and Garand just spins around right through that infield. Well, not too much, I guess, there, but just enough. He started to come back up on the track, so they threw the caution.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. Just enough there to probably throw a caution flag. Certainly unfortunate, but from the looks of things, that definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it looks like basically 2 trucks were involved, Brandon Cooper and Jeremy Garand. But as we just completed the round of pit stops, we'll see if everybody's going to come in and what they're going to do. We do have 3 sets of tires lying in the pits, so they probably used one last time. So we'll see if they use another one here, and they'll still have to make one more pit stop because the pit window's 45, 46 laps.
Yep, take that script, crumple it up, throw it out the window. This pit stop changes everything. Completely going to change the complexion of the race once we go back to racing. Everyone seems to have come down pit road, including your leader, Oscar Jensen. I'm wondering, you know, near the back, because I mean, realistically, only the top 8 trucks are on the restart. Didn't have a lot of laps on those on that set of tires. Maybe you try a little 2-tire strategy, gain a couple positions here going back to green.
Well, that is something a little bit interesting as I'm looking at the pit times. The first 4 drivers, so Jensen, Link, Davala, and Porter, all spent less than 7 seconds in their pit. Everybody else behind them spent 14 to 15. So I think it just the opposite of what you said happened. Because I was thinking the guys in the middle would just take fuel and get back on there. But it looks like that was not the case.
Not clearly. It was just the opposite. I mean, I knew some type of strategy was going to play out, but I had it 100% in reverse. That happens more often time than not in broadcasting. You say one thing, typically the driver does the other, but hey, it kind of comes with the territory. But you know what? That goes to show you, Mike, how important maintaining this lead is to these guys up front.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to get stuck back in the back. And it looks like we have 3 trucks that are going to try and stay on track and take that wave around. Jeremy Garand, Chris Vincent, and Clayton White all trying to get some of their laps back.
Yeah, the 21 should be able to get his lap back here, and that would bring us back to 12 trucks on the lead lap. He should be the beneficiary there of the lucky dog.
But on the scoring, Oscar Jensen is the leader.
Yeah, so he was able to come down pit road, P1, and maintain the lead. Not much change to the top 3, except, I believe, the 2 of Tyler Devada and the 04 of Cody Porter may have flip-flopped. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like they're Davalo's 3 and Porter's 4, but I don't think that's going to matter much as soon as they get stacked back up here.
Nope, it won't, because they will pretty much be nose to tail, if you will. And it looks like
now they're coming back down.
Back down pit road again.
Yeah, it looks like all 4 of them are coming down pit road.
Yeah, maybe a change of heart once they saw everyone else put Ford Dr. Feelgoods on their truck. Maybe they decided, hey, might want to come back down and equalize and make sure we're on the same strategy as everyone else.
Yeah, it looks like it as Right side goes up, left side goes up. So yeah, that is definitely what they're doing. But the lights are out on the pace car.
Oh, a little contact there, potentially coming out of the pit stall. And you're right, those lights are out on the pace truck, so they're really going to have to boogie to catch that pack before they drop the green flag.
That is an interesting development. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to think about what I'm going to say. Someone decided to take the exit cone with them there. Might as well throw that in the mix.
Yeah, all those trucks are having to start looks like single file as we get ready to go back green. Frank Peacock has the button, and Justin Hurst is on the outside, the only one on the outside row right now.
That's certainly an interesting plot twist. We have to see how this one shakes out.
Oscar Jensen is already making his way with Alex Link right behind him. Josh Benoit almost into the wall, gets a little loose.
Oh, you didn't want to see that.
But Chris Vincent was in the wall. But we stay green.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things I worried about, you know, coming down pit road, giving up all that track position. As a driver, you're going to want to try and make that up. You know, sometimes you get a little too antsy. You want to go just a little too soon. And unfortunate events like that transpire on the racetrack shortly after.
Yeah, especially if you're Oscar Jensen and Alex Link here up front almost every lap of the race, and then get put back in traffic there.
Yeah, currently, I mean, they came all back down pit road together, so you wonder if that was maybe you know, a strategy, you know, devised amongst the crews or the drivers. Time will only tell, and no, certainly after the race is over, we'll have an opportunity to ask them about that. But getting back to the trackside action here, is leading the way right now, the 13 of Frank Peacock, followed by close pursuit of Justin Hurst, Oscar Jensen, and how about Alex Link back up to the 4th position? Brian Whitney rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, Jensen and Link wasted no time in getting back up to where they want to be. They're right on the back bumper of Frank Peacock here. And Cody Porter jumps down to the inside, going to make a pass on Brian Whitney and look to pass Justin Hurst as well. As Hurst gets loose, able to save it and is still on track. Oscar Jensen.
The 13 of Frank Peacock, I mean, he was eating that ice cream down up on the inside. He was running. He was a full lane down underneath the white line, trying to make something happen out there on the racetrack, trying to maintain that lead.
Yeah, trying to do something to keep Jensen, Link, and Porter behind him, but nothing doing. But he is still up 3 positions from where he started.
Certainly is. And he did it again for a second lap there. I mean, down below the white line, and that's not out of bounds. The only time that comes into play is going to be your plate tracks, Daytona and Talladega. So that is a legal move and is allowed on the racetrack. But you got to think, with absolutely zero banking down there, you're not going to want to do that for much longer. You're definitely going to eat up those tires quicker than you want to.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't try and do every lap, but get a little bit of position, you might as well. As Tyler Davila makes his way inside of Frank Peacock and is getting behind Cody Porter. So those 4 trucks are looking to link up again and try and gap the field like they were doing earlier.
Certainly. However, again, comers and goers, if you will, the two of that 2 machine piloted by Tyler Davila Certainly haven't seen him up towards the front yet tonight, but he is definitely on the move. Running the bottom side right now and getting after it, putting the 13 under pressure.
Yeah, that 13 truck had the lead for quite a while, but you're going to have to do something different if you want to beat Jensen Lincoln Porter, because they have just been lights out.
Yeah, I mean, from the drop of the green flag, they're like, we're checking out, see you on another planet. You know, reference to the speeds that these guys are running. And, I mean, they're clearly working together tonight. Even on that strange pit cycle where they came back, you know, the leaders came back down pit road, they all came together. So currently, I think there's some strategy within those three drivers right there, and I think that's apparent right now.
Yeah, definitely. All four of them have to have their spotters telling them what they're all four going to do, as they seem to be working very well together. But the good thing about the good thing about what we're seeing is after that caution, this is the racing I was expecting. You know, has a nice little group of 7 trucks up here, and all of them are racing all over the track, and they're staying clean.
My thoughts exactly, Mike. You stole the words out of my mouth. This is what I envision at the drop of the green flag. You could pitch a 10 over these guys, and you're going to be in it. The Beehive is alive and well. Once again, you're the front of the pack right now. Tight side-by-side racing, occupying both preferred lanes around the racetrack.
Yeah, as you see them going almost clear to the wall, and we've seen guys clear down on the apron. And these guys are all over the track making it work. I mean, if they're racing this hard halfway through the race, I can't imagine what the end's going to be.
Yeah, you could be somehow 5 wide coming to the start-finish line, especially with that one line the 13 of Frank Peacock was trying to make work.
Yeah, just as you said that, Alex Link and Cody Porter were down there almost to the grass that time by.
You know, maybe these guys know something that we don't. Clearly, this is the most intense the racing has been out, tonight so far, and it is really picked up. It is picked up in a hurry. A lot of jostling for position, a lot of lane changing. No one's staying in line, and that could breed cautions just around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are all over the track, running at 180 miles an hour or so. I mean, they're...
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Lose a little bit of air off that rear spoiler, and that back end grip goes away in a hurry and can certainly get ugly in no time. How about the one truck of Justin Hurst tonight? Currently inside the top 10. He's rebounded back to the 7th position. 76 right in front of him. 13 of Frank Peacock. You started your leader. Dropped back just a couple spots tonight. Inside, currently in the 5th position. As we get a little single file right now, maybe he's just starting to calm down here just a little bit, you think. Those guys probably remembered what happened the first run and may have said, hey, you know what, we got to save our stuff. We don't want to let these guys just run away from us again like they did in the first segment of the race.
Yeah, I mean, if these guys up front hook up and get pulled away like they were doing earlier, that second group wouldn't stand a chance the way they were racing, but it looks like they've settled down and are almost single file and are staying with this lead pack.
Right, you got to wonder maybe if a couple of spotters up there on the stand, went over and talked to one of the other drivers of one of the spotters of the other team and said, hey, we can't let these guys walk away from us. Let's see if we can get in line and maintain that gap and try to hang with them for as long as we can.
Yeah, you have to be wanting to do something there, because if you don't, you're just going to be left out in the dust.
and you're going to be left out to lunch for certain. And we've seen that within the first 40, 50 laps of this race. But it looks like this time, trying a little bit of a different strategy here, and you just have to. You can't expect the same result, a different result, doing the same thing. So we remain single file here through the top 5, top 6, it looks like right now at this time. And again, you have 10 trucks right now currently on the lead lap, 24 seconds off the pace. The last truck on the lead lap right now, 33 of Ronald Holmes. He doesn't have much time either before he's going to possibly fall into the clutches of the 32 Oscar Jensen. Because I'll tell you what, this lead group, they are hauling right now.
Yeah, they're out there playing and having fun, but in all seriousness, we know the pit window is 45 laps or so. And if you're in this back group, you've got to be thinking you're probably going to come pit side in the next 15 laps, 16 laps. If you're thinking this thing's going to go green and maybe try and do that little bit of undercut, because you know this lead pack is going to have to pit on lap 105, 106 at the latest.
Like, those drivers right now are praying that lead pack when they come down pit road, they come in a little hot, potentially get a penalty. There's a miscue with one of them getting in their pit stall, or potentially execution of that pit stop and getting back off on the racetrack. And I think you're right on the money there, Mike. That's exactly what I think they're going to have to do to try and have a shot at this. You got to try and undercut them. I don't know if there's any other play. Everything we've seen tonight is just screaming at us, this is going to go green the rest of the way.
Yeah, especially with the way these guys up front are running all over the place. You've got to try something, especially if you're back here like Justin Hurst. He was running with them for a while, but now he's kind of backed off a little bit. Josh Benoit is about 2 back from Hurst, and then Jeremy Garin is about 10 seconds off of Benoit. And Ron Holmes, like you said, is almost going to get lapped here shortly.
I think he might have a little bit of damage on that vehicle as well. And as you know, a track that's so aero-sensitive, like this place, you get a little damage to the front fascia of that vehicle, pushing a fender, or even compromise the spoiler on that truck. Your lap times are going to fall off quick, fast, and in a hurry. Back up front, Alex Link, no surprise, trying to take the lead back from Oscar Jensen. Eating it up there on the inside right now. Let's see if he gets some help, and he does. His teammate, team cars there, 04 Cody Porter, said, hey, let's pull some shake and bake. I'll give you a shove, buddy. And just like that, the 10 and the 4 back to the point.
Yeah, the 10, the 4, the 32, and the 2 have all just been playing around up front here, going back and forth. It'll be interesting to see how many laps each of them led with how much they're jumping around.
That would be something to see, an even amount of laps led between the top 3.
Yeah. But Frank Peacock is kind of a surprise here. He restarted P1 here. Last pitted on lap 59. Same with Brian Whitney, and they're staying right with this lead group. So they must be able to have something for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the rocker with the shocker so far tonight. You know, maybe he heard that we weren't talking about him enough, and he wanted to say, hey, Mike, hey, Matt, don't forget about me. I got something to say. And that gentleman right now is making a statement, because he is maintaining inside the top 5, and he's just a couple hundredths of a second off of that pace right now. So potentially look for him to be the dark horse tonight, deep sleeper, if you will, potentially contending for a win here.
But back up front. Oh, looks like Chris Vinson was in the grass there. I don't know where he came from. But,
Ooh. And that almost had Kevin LePage written all over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching the leaders, and all of a sudden I saw that black truck come flying up through the infield. Ooh. Luckily, he was able to stop it, and we're still green, and these guys are still racing all over the track.
And oh my God, did the two ever put a serious squeeze job on the 13? Pretty sure I seen some smoke coming off of the left front of Frank Peacock. Tyler, he slammed the door shut hard, fast, in a hurry. I don't know how they didn't make contact. Great heads-up move by Frank in that 13 machine.
Yeah, they were all making it work, and as we're talking here, Justin Hurst, the one truck, is headed to pit road right now.
Well, there you go, Mike. You mentioned it. You can't do the same thing time and time again and expect a different end result. So the one truck here going to come down pit road a little ahead of time, get refueled, put 4 Dr. Feelgoods on that machine, and see with those fresh tires if we can start to eat in that deficit. And potentially, when pit stops do cycle, potentially he could be your leader if it shakes out right for him.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Go ahead.
Oh, we'll have to see how that does shake out, as Alex Link is now out to a half-second lead over Cody Porter.
You got to wonder maybe if that 10, with all the different formations we've seen earlier on in the race, if maybe he was just playing with everybody. I know that sounds crazy, but it just seems like whenever that 10 truck, and you remember from our interview last week, he said he did not like the racetrack that he was at, but he really liked Las Vegas. I wonder if he's almost just playing with the rest of these guys and just decides, hey, when you want to go, I'm going to go.
Yeah, you never know. You see Cody Porter down to his inside trying to make the pass. Oscar Jensen gets behind him there. But Alex Link just goes a little bit faster. It's going to be interesting to see when we get down to between 5 and 10 to go how that's going to go, if Alex Link is just going to put his foot in the floor and drive away, or if these guys are going to have something for him.
Certainly only time will tell there. I'm watching the one of Justin Hurst as he completed that pit cycle and is now up to speed on the racetrack, and he is really trying to get that thing wound up here in the middle top groove. And certainly tires do make a difference, running almost a half-second faster than your front pack right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to run those as hard as he can, but looks like he might have pitted. He pitted on lap 90, and it's a 45-ish lap window, so he pitted just at it. So we'll see if that's going to work for him. But like I said, you had to do something different, and that's the call his crew chief made. So
yeah, certainly the pit stops really haven't trended as we thought they would. They're definitely a little unorthodox, and we've had some of those moments here tonight, especially with that scare with that 10 vehicle just appearing out of nowhere. Really picking the drivers up front. Good heads up by all of them as they avoided it, but that could have been disastrous. Hopefully we don't see that again tonight.
Yeah, these guys up front are running lights out. The five trucks there. Then you go back and you have Josh Benoit about almost 3 seconds back, so we'll see if he's able to make a little bit of ground, or if he's going to come into pit a couple laps before these guys do.
I'll tell you what, the top 6 is definitely doing a good job of not letting the top 3 break away this time. There's only a little outside of a 1 second differential through the first 6 competitors right now on the racetrack. That's a lot better of a scenario to be in. especially as we start to wind the laps down here to close this race out.
Yeah, so Justin Hurst is the only one that's came to pit road, and he is running about 31-second laps. The leader, Alex Link, that time by ran a 31.7, so 7/10 faster for Hurst. So we'll see if he's able to make up the time on the racetrack, or if it's basically a long shot, as Link, Jensen, and Porter are just way too fast.
I think it's more of a long shot at this point. Now, I really feel if he would have had another competitor, another truck come down the racetrack with him and pit with him at the same time, being able to benefit from the draft plus those fresh tires probably would have been the better scenario. But again, I still agree with the one with what he did. You have to try and do something different, especially when you're setting that kind of a pace up front.
So we should be seeing the leaders come to pit road within the next 5 or 6 laps.
The key word there is should.
Yeah, we saw what happened last time, so.
Right. I mean, they could come down pit road 3 times before we go back to green. But you know what? I don't care. That's why I love doing this, because what shoulda, coulda, woulda happened has not happened in the Fired Up Truck Series over the course of my stay here, and I love every minute of it. Back up front, your pole sitter, you guessed it, the man in white, Alex Link, setting the way here, carrying the torch, if you will. Almost jumped out to a second lead. Getting back to positions at your top 3, Oscar Jensen, you guessed it, 04, Cody Porter, followed by the 2 machine of Tyler Nevada and Frank Peacock, rounding out your top 5. Certainly a little race here, back around position 2 through 5 right now at this time, Mike.
Yeah, they're definitely probably trying to figure out what they're going to do towards these pit stops. But Peacock and Whitney have hung on for longer than we've seen anybody else hang on to this front group of 4.
Yeah, big shout out to them for being able to change the tides, if you will, and hang on to that and have them at least within firing range, if you will, to make a statement here as we wind these laps down. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to run side by side. I've seen a little of that going on, and maybe they realize, hey, you know what, as much as positions and points count, if we want any shot at winning this, we got to stay hooked up single file. The only way you're going to try to maintain with that 10 truck right now, at least that's my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, as it looks like Peacock and Whitney are coming into pit this time. Alex Link, Oscar Jensen, Cody Porter, and Tyler Davala are still out on the track. And I imagine they're still going to be for a little while. But we will see, we'll see as these pit stops start to cycle through now, what strategy is the correct one.
Right, and quite frankly, I don't know, Mike DeMoney. I have no idea. I took my notes that I made for this race, threw it out the window or out the front door, if you will, during the first round of pit stops. And again, the 10, you know, he may stay out there another 5 laps or so. I think he's that confident with his machine, and I mean, very minimal fall off on that truck. I really think he's kind of in a league of his own right now. And that that's indicative of almost what we've seen throughout the course of the first 3 races tonight. But again, big shout out to the 13 of Frank Peacock, maintaining and holding there up front. He's put out a statement here in the second. He's came on strong the second half of this race. Shout out to the 1 as well for strong contention right now. Still definitely not out of it by any means, especially if we have another caution flag. As the 32 now decides to come down pit road. Ooh, he locked up the front tires just a little bit. Wonder if he may have been caught speeding. We'll have to see here on pit exit. But the 32 now on pit road, making his final pit stop of the evening, or what should be his final pit stop of the evening.
Yeah, should be definitely his final pit stop. We'll see if Alex Link and Cody Porter are able to... Oh, Alex Link coming in this time. Looks like they might have had a little bit of a miscue as he is sideways, backwards, every which way on pit road. Tyler Davala also in. Cody Porter stays out. But we will see if Cody Porter is able to continue down his race here.
Mike, I can't believe it. Mr. Flawless is human after all. And we talked about it earlier, the importance of executing on pit road, let alone the money stop. Alex Link with a rare mistake coming on pit road. He's able to gather it back up, get it pointed in the right direction. Currently being serviced on pit road right now, but you gotta wonder, did he just throw this one away? Or is he saying, you know what, guys, no sweat. I can make a mistake, and I can still run these guys down and win this thing.
You never know, but the one of Justin Hurst is closing in on leading this race.
Yes, he is. He is out there right now on the high side, getting it done. You can see his arms up on the wheel right now. He is working that machine, trying to get every fraction of speed he can out of that truck right now as he tries to close in on the 04 of Cody Porter, who is just a tenth of a second ahead of him at this point in time.
And Justin Hurst. And then Oscar Jensen is about a second back. Frank Peacock is right on Jensen's back bumper. So the four trucks that were all hooked up earlier are now completely separated at this moment, as Peacock and Jensen go around Hurst.
Yeah, that's a big storyline right there, if you will, because those guys, I mean, virtually have been hooked up the entire race. They pitted together. They oddly came down pit road for a second time and changed left side tires. So clearly they've been on a strategy trying to work together tonight. For the first time, as Mike said, they are not together. They are not hooked up, if you will. So we're going to want to see how that weighs in on things this evening. But how about Justin Hurst tonight? What a drive by this kid. Started outside the top 10, solidly in the podium slot right now in the third position. And I don't think he's done. I think we're going to see a little bit more from him tonight, especially if this race stays green. We got about a 2-second differential from the one back to the 04 of Cody Porter and company right now.
Yeah, definitely. He made the right call. He got plenty of track position. We'll see where he's going to wind up finishing. But Cody Porter and Tyler Davala have hooked up again and are on the move. Ryan Whitney is about 2/10 back from them and is trying to hang on to that draft. And
Absolutely. They are hooked up, and they got the afterburner engaged right now because these two guys are flying.
And we'll have to see if the 10 Toyota of Alex Link is going to be able to make his way back towards the front after that disastrous pit road entry.
Yeah, certainly that's the worst case scenario. If you're going to make a mistake on pit road, you definitely don't want it to be on your money stop, and that's exactly what happened. Currently the 10, a staggering 12 seconds off the pace right now. Mike, I don't count this guy out yet. He's been so solid, so good. I don't count him out yet. I don't think it's over till it's over.
Definitely, as Lynn Whitney saying, 25 laps to 76 isn't over until the finish line is crossed. That is definitely true, Lynn.
certainly agree with all of the fans right now on the YouTube stream. I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting your drivers, supporting us. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show as much as I am, because I'm fired up right now, Mike.
Yeah, these guys are definitely putting on a show. Got 14 trucks that started this race, and we're still with at least 8 that can win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mathematically, top 8 definitely in it. The only people really that I would count out of it are the trucks that aren't on the lead lap right now. Positions 9th on back right now. Everyone inside the top 8, all on the lead lap, realistically have a shot to win this. Still looking for that ever pivotal caution. If we get another caution on this racetrack, complete game changer. And if I'm looking at the trends of the race, typically the last caution potentially going to come with inside the last 15 laps. I think we may have a shot at a surprise here at the end.
Yeah, if you're Alex Link, you are hoping that you see one. But if you are Oscar Jensen, you do not want to see one.
The sides of the coin, if you will, just what you want to see on the racetrack from a driver's perspective. But that's the beauty of racing. There's so many variables. Sometimes you think you know what's going to happen, and you have no clue what's going to happen. And we've seen our share of that tonight.
Yeah, with 16 laps to go, Oscar Jensen is now out to a 7/10 of a second lead. Frank Peacock in second has a 1.5 second lead over Cody Porter, but Cody Porter has Tyler Davala right behind him, pushing him towards the lead, and then Brian Whitney rounds out the top 5.
Interesting statement, Tony. Or Mike, I'm sorry. We've seen what effect the drafting has on these trucks tonight. I almost wonder, maybe if you're the 13, maybe do you give up a little time on the racetrack and try to get 3 trucks hooked up to see if you could run that 32 down? Or maybe there's just not enough time to make that happen.
I think if you're the 13, you're hoping that the guys behind you, Cody Porter and Tyler Davala, wind up getting behind you and help push you towards the front. But as we've seen Porter do earlier, he was mostly working with Alex Link, so I don't imagine him trying to push another truck into the equation if him and Tyler Davala can get around him.
Speaking of Alex Link, he did gain a position on the racetrack, or is about to gain a position on the racetrack. He has caught, I'm sorry, I had a scoring timing error there. He currently resides in the same spot back there. For a moment there, it had updated, and in the next loop, it corrected itself, so error on my part.
Yeah,
But
Alex
again,
Link currently sitting in 7th. He was able to make a pass on Justin Hurst, but he is running almost the same lap times as the leader, as Cody Porter has caught Frank Peacock and is making that pass.
So just as we were talking potential strategy plays up front, Cody Porter just said, you know what, I'm going to go up there and I'm just going to wheel it and I'm going to run him down all by myself. That's exactly what he's done.
Yeah, and Tyler Davala down to his inside, going to pass Peacock as well.
You got to wonder maybe if they were running just a little too hard, maybe using up their stuff just a little bit more than what they wanted to. Yeah, that certainly is a possibility, given what's transpired over the course of this race so far. I myself, I'm guilty of that. I'll do it in these situations. And again, open setup as well. So some of these guys may have their trucks set up for the long run. You're starting to see that come into fruition.
Yeah, it definitely is. As we are 10 laps to go. Jensen has a almost 2-second lead over Cody Porter. Tyler Davala is pretty close as well.
It's hard to believe we're inside of 10 laps to go. But again, this league, these drivers, they certainly know how to get it done. They certainly know how to run fast laps. And when you minimize cautions, laps churn by in a hurry. 32 of Oscar Jensen still continues to lead the way, followed by the old Ford machine of Cody Porter, the 2 of Tyler Davada. Currently massaging right now almost a 2-second differential. Almost would like to think, or like to see potentially the 4 and the 2 work together to run down to 32, see if they can make a last-minute charge here, or at least make a bid for the win tonight. Alex Link continues to rebound up another position, it looks like here now, inside the top 8. Currently about a second back from the 46 of Josh Bennett. So, I mean, he's certainly still able to turn some lap times and get it done without the help of his friends, per se, if you will, throughout the course of this race. Everyone that he was running with up front and all those strategic formations early on in the race, making it look easy.
Yeah, definitely. He is on the back bumper of Josh Benoit, going to his inside now, going to make that pass. But he is still 11 seconds back from Oscar Jensen. So unless something drastic happens, he might be just hoping for a top 5 here.
Right, and you know what? He's built up a sizable points lead in just 2 races. Top 5 is not going to realistically hurt him in any way, shape, or form. Certainly not the outcome that he wanted. You know he wanted to go for that win. We know from that interview that he loves this place. But at the end of the day, I mean, a top 5 is still a top 5. And when you have a 20-point lead, that's not a bad day by any stretch of the imagination.
Definitely not. And it just goes to show that he is human. So, but Oscar Jensen is now got a 0.3 of a second lead over Cody Porter, and Cody Porter is running about a 10th faster every lap, so he might be able to get to his back bumper if they continue to run at this pace.
Great point there, Mike. He is slightly faster, just a tick. And as these laps wind down, you know, if you're Oscar Jensen, you're praying for that white flag. You want to see that white flag, knowing that you have a truck closing in on you. And once you start to feel that pressure, that's when you start to make mistakes. Mirror driving, definitely not your friend. And if Cody continues to close in on him, you can't help but wonder when he's going to make a mistake, slip up the racetrack. I mean, you've really got to be dedicated to your craft, coming down to the end, potentially going to get a victory with a pursuing vehicle competitor behind you.
As he comes up on lap traffic, so that will definitely slow him down a little bit as he ducks to the inside. Cody Porter stays high.
Yeah, that's certainly not where you want to catch lap traffic. That's gonna definitely kind of mess up your entry to the corner, especially with some laps on these tires now. And as we see there, the 04 able to close it in almost to the back door of Oscar Jensen. We could be setting up for a finish here, Mike.
Definitely could. We're down to a 1/10 of a second. He is all over that back bumper. We have 2 laps to go. As they come through 3 and 4 here, make their way back to the start-finish line, we will get the white flag in the air. Cody Porter to the inside, hits him, and around they go. Oscar Jensen stays in front, and we will finish this race as they are still green. So Cody Porter gets into the side of Oscar Jensen. Jensen's able to keep it straight and continue to run. Tyler Davala maintains his pace and gets up into second. And the beneficiary of all of this is going to be Frank Peacock, as Tyler Davala is making a pass on Oscar Jensen and will now win the Gambler 135 at Las Vegas, brought to you by Frazier's Place.
He just pinballed it off the wall.
Oh my gosh. What in the world did we just watch?
What? Have you ever?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know really what happened. Let's go back and take a look here.
I need a moment. I gotta catch my breath.
Let's see here. Let's go back here.
My God.
We'll go back here and we'll just take a look real quick.
What a finish. That was incredible.
You see Cody Porter just working his way right to that back bumper. And as they come out of the corner here, bumps him just a little bit. He gets a little squirrely. Cody Porter dives down to the inside. And as Oscar corrects just a little bit, Cody Porter goes down. Oscar keeps coming down, forcing him down. Cody Porter drives over his roof. Oscar continues to go towards the inside. Cody Porter peels off and goes up into the wall. Oscar Jensen keeps it straight and is able to keep going.
Well, I can tell you in hockey, that's called cross-checking.
Dang.
I've never seen it finish like that in my life.
That is just crazy. So, let's see if we can talk to some guys here.
Why not?
Let's see if we can get the third place finisher here. Hey, Matt, I think you got the third place finish there of Frank Peacock there.
Matt Mettler here up in the booth with Frank Peacock. You got me.
Peacock, yeah, I got you guys. Yep.
Walk us through that last final lap. What an incredible finish. Frank, what happened?
I seen smoke, I seen cars spinning out, and I checked up. I should have never checked up. But, yeah, that was my fault. I probably might have got second. I don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have let up, but it kind of shocked me.
I'll be quite honest with you. I'm shocked. I was about rendered speechless there for about 45 seconds.
I think that's why I let up.
Well, you know what? In those moments, I mean, I raced too, not at your level, not at your caliber. And you know what? I probably would have done the same thing. But, I mean, nonetheless, still a podium finish. You come out with a strong run. You start position 6. You end up P3. You kept it in one piece, and you have a solid third-place finish. I mean, you think maybe pit strategy was another thing that kind of had us puzzled there. The first round of pit stops, the leaders came down and only took right sides. And then before you guys went back green, came back down pit road again and then took lefts. Do you have any idea what that was about?
I have no idea at all. That was the first news for me. Yeah, I didn't know. I noticed they pitted twice. I thought maybe they were just topping off. But, yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah, Mike and I were trying to figure that one out, too, because we definitely watched and we seen the jack get back to work on those vehicles when they came back down pit road. But nonetheless, you guys do not disappoint. The Fired Up series was once again fired up tonight. You know, Frank's fired up. Third place finish. Definitely, you know, as a race car driver, he wanted more, but still solid positions, solid performance tonight, Frank. Anyone you want to thank?
Just the guys at time will tell. You know, Clayton for the new paint scheme. It's freaking awesome. I love it. It's bright. You can see it from outer space. And
I agree. It's an awesome team.
Yeah, he did a great job. All the guys on the team. Mrs. White, hi. And that's it, guys. Great broadcast. Good race.
Hey, we certainly appreciate that, Frank. This is Matt with Frank Peacock up in the booth. Solid run. Definitely wanted more. But at the end of the day, hey, he'll take it as we move on to next week. Mike, back to you.
Well, it looks like Oscar's busy at the moment, so we are here with Tyler Davala. If I'm saying that right, Tyler?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Anyway, congrats on the win. What a crazy race. I mean, early when you had that caution, you guys pitted the first time by. Looks like you only took fuel, and then you came back in again and got 4 tires. Was that just a matter of everybody else taking 4, so you figured you better?
Yeah, we pitted the first time. It was kind of tough. We only had three extra sets tonight, and it kind of lined up with the fuel runs. So we originally pitted for fuel only because we thought we were going to have to take 2 stops to the end there, and then we came back out and did the math again and realized we were wrong. It was only going to be 1 stop. So we came back down, took tires, and we weren't going to lose that many spots anyway, so it really wasn't that big of a loss. So in the end, it seemed like it was worth it.
Definitely. So, walk us through that last lap there.
It was crazy. I was falling off because I had burned off my right rear. I was getting really loose. And I just saw them ahead of me. I knew they were going to race hard for it, and it looked like Oscar got loose, and Cody might have scored him, and it caused a little bit of neck code, and then they just hit each other. I couldn't believe they were wrecking. And I don't know if Oscar had an issue or something into 3. He had damage or something, but I was able to go under him.
Definitely. Well, congrats on the win. Anybody you want to thank on that truck tonight?
Oh yeah, all the boys over at Moonlight Speed Shops. They brought a rocket this week. All my teammates tonight for helping me out on strategy and all that. Everybody for putting this league on. It's a great time, and you guys for being up here in the booth.
Awesome. Well, I will let you go celebrate with your teammates, and I will talk to you maybe next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was the winner, Tyler Davala, and we will go ahead and go through the final order here.
And a final order it is, Mike. I'm still just shocking disbelief on what we all witnessed.
That was just crazy. All right, so taking home the win is Tyler Davala. Oscar Jensen brings home P2. Frank Peacock, I think that's what he said when he was in here. Brian Whitney and Alex Link round out the top 5. Josh Benoit, Justin Hurst, 6th and 7th. Cody Porter, Hard Luck, 8th. Ron Holmes, 9th. Chris Vincent, 10th. Jeremy Garand and Clayton White, 11th and 12th. Brandon Cooper and Kerry Moore round out the field of 14.
You know, there may have been only 14 trucks in that race, but it felt like 30.
Yeah, they were all over the place racing, and it was definitely something we've come to expect from the Fired Up Esports League here. And I look forward to their next race.
I mean, how could you not look forward to the next race? I mean, every single race that these guys have ran, they totally throw the script out on the trends of the race halfway through and give us something that we don't expect. And tonight was a whole new level of that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to save this race, and then I'm going to go back and probably spend the next hour or 2 rewatching that replay of that last lap from different angles. I mean, that was insane.
Definitely was. And I wonder what the insanity they're going to bring when they head to Martinsville next week. But
I mean, let's face it. You're going to have some people that obviously had their feathers flustered on the outcome of that run. So you wonder, obviously, I mean, payback's more than likely going to happen. The question is, do you wait till next week? Do you wait till later on in the chase, perhaps? But there's definitely going to be some hurt feelings, and rightfully so. But for all you guys at home, I mean, heck, you guys caught a heck of a race. And as the name says, the Fired Up series was fired up once again. Thursday night prime time is the right time for these guys to compete on the racetrack.
Definitely. And as Matt just said, we will be back next week. Same time, same channel. If you're on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. Facebook, stream live there as well. Go ahead and give us a follow, and you will see us 7 days a week. Once again, this is Mike Damoni and Matt Metler, and we will see you next week. Good night.